What advice would you give to someone in an argument with a stupid person? I decided to name my son Leonardo to honor my late childhood best friend who passed a couple of years ago. Everyone at the shower thought it was sweet, except my sister Casey, who stood up and slammed her palms on the table when she heard the name. That's my baby name! You know how much I love Leonardo DiCaprio and plan to name my baby that. We tried to tell Casey she wasn't even in a relationship, much less pregnant, but she wasn't having it. She yelled that we were traitors, then packed her things and left with an announcement. See you all in court. 2 days later, I got a letter in the mail giving me 24 hours to relinquish the name or face consequences. My family called an emergency intervention. We all sat down with Casey in Mom's living room that evening and tried gently explaining why I wouldn't be giving up the name. Casey's face was like an angry tomato. She kept interrupting to tell me how my dead friend would understand, how this has been her only dream in life ever since she was a little girl. We stood our ground, and after proving to her through one of my lawyer friends that she couldn't go to court over a baby name, she ended up giving us an ultimatum. The name was hers, or she'd got no contact with us. We all simultaneously pointed at the door. Her eyes went when we called the bluff, and in this angry, defeated tone she said, "Fine, you can have the stupid name." We thought that was it because we didn't hear from her at all for the next 3 months. But then my Labor Day came. I was literally giving birth when Casey burst through the door holding a teddy bear and shouting, "Michael is here!" Our whole family, including the nurses, looked confused. My husband Samuel asked what she meant. That's when Casey beamed and rubbed her flat stomach. "I'm pregnant too. You said I couldn't have the name because I wasn't pregnant, so I went out and became pregnant. Problem solved." We stared at her like she had 5 heads. Security removed her while she screamed about fairness. An hour later, I was holding my son for the first time. A nurse came in looking uncomfortable. "There's been an issue with your paperwork. It says here the baby's name is Michael." My husband jumped up like a hawk. He investigated while I held Leonardo and found out the hospital documents were different from what we submitted. Casey had actually tried to officially change our baby's name while I was in active labor. The hospital fixed it, but the message was done. Casey was determined. The next morning, while we were still recovering, my brother called. "Casey's at the hospital. She's hurt really badly." Turns out Casey had woken up at 5 a.m. and had been filing name claims, then driving to every courthouse in the entire state trying to get someone to legally grant her the name Leonardo. She barely slept and spent all day without eating and drinking, leading to her being so tired and dehydrated that she suffered a sunstroke before collapsing on the courthouse steps. She fell straight onto her belly and started miscarrying. She was rushed to the nearest hospital where they had to IV fluids and nutrients into her. The moment she was lucid again, she called me directly from the hospital, yelling that I culled her baby by forcing her to fight for what was rightfully hers. "Leonardo was mine," she sobbed. "How does it feel to know an innocent baby is dead because of you?" I hung up without responding. 3 weeks later, I was breastfeeding when Samuel's phone rang. It was Child Protective Services. Someone had reported us for child abuse and neglect. The caseworker rattled off allegations that made my blood run cold. Samuel was apparently violent towards the baby. His juvenile record from a bar fight when he was 17 was cited. My dad, who lived with us, was also mentioned as a threat. His old teaching scandal, where a student accused him of inappropriate behavior before admitting she lied, was also cited. They even mentioned the house being unsafe for a newborn. While we were still reeling from the call, my neighbor texted me screenshots from our local Facebook group. Casey had written this long post about making the brave decision to report abuse she'd witnessed going on in our home, painting herself as a hero saving a baby from danger. 20 minutes later, I let the workers, thinking seeing our clean house would end this nightmare. The caseworker checked the nursery, the baby supplies, Leonardo sleeping peacefully. But then she saw my dad in the kitchen. "Is this the grandfather mentioned in the report?" She pulled out her paperwork. "The one with the teaching scandal?" I explained frantically that a student had lied and later admitted it, but the caseworker's face had already changed. "With your husband's juvenile assault record and this, we have to follow protocol. I'm sorry." I couldn't breathe. I watched the caseworker take my baby and carry him out. "He'll be with family," she said. "Your sister seems very prepared. She already had a nursery ready." Of course she did. She'd probably set it up the day after the baby shower. Our lawyer said emergency custody hearings could take time. The investigation cleared us, but bureaucracy moved slowly. In the meantime, Casey had our son. She was posting photos on Instagram calling him my sweet Leonardo, while I sat at home pumping milk for a baby I couldn't hold. Full story on channel linked below.